Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm Teacher Oakley. And for the next hour, we are going to challenge ourselves mentally. We are going to look at iffy sentences, ambiguous sentences, sentences that possibly because of grammar, possibly because of the construction of the words in the sentences, possibly because of actual lexical meaning, because of the meanings of words, or sometimes, of course, many English words have more than one meaning. For these reasons, possibly these sentences at first blush, at first glance, may seem to not make sense, or possibly simply because of the way that we interpret the information, what we consider the words to mean, or the semantics of the actual language, they could be interpreted differently by two different people. One person may think this sentence makes absolutely no sense at all. It's completely illogical. It can't make sense. And another person can conceive that, in fact, this sentence would make sense. We're going to look at a number of sentences and discuss them. Looking at it from this perspective, think about, I would ask you, the students who join me, come on in, by the way, don't be shy. Look at this sentence and explain to me possibly, or try to think of a situation or circumstance where this sentence would actually make sense. We're looking at these sentences by themselves, out of context, without a person, place, without a setting. So at first glance, they may seem quite illogical. But if you use your noodle, use your noggin, you may be able to conceive of ways and places and situations and settings where this sentence could, in fact, actually make sense. The fun part is, as we look at these sentences, I will point out to you that some of these sentences are widely used in English, all in first language English use. Anyway, it should be interesting. There are no wrong answers here, so don't be shy. You really can't be wrong. It's more, we're discussing semantics. So semantics, there are no wrong or right answers. It's a matter of perception. So don't be worried about making a fool of yourself. It's really not possible. So don't be shy. Come and join me and join in, and we'll have fun discussing. Hello, Araceli. Long time no see. Where have you been hiding? I'm good. I'm very good. Where have you been hiding?
Yes. No,
No, that's a common expression.
It was
Doesn't mean anything.
hard to connect here, so for the last days. But tomorrow I'm going back to Valencia. I will gym some more classes, and I have to take advantage of my time for the rest of the month.
Absolutely. Enjoy yourself. I highly recommend it. I realize you're a teacher. I feel for you. I do. I understand that you have to really take advantage of your time to decompress. I totally understand that.
Ay, otra vez.
Yeah. And by the way, when I say where have you been hiding, that's a common English remark. Doesn't mean anything. It just means, oh, I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been hiding? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? just a different version of that same thing. Okay, Araceli, let's jump. Let's first of all, actually, there's something I want to do before we. As a little bit of a precursor to the lesson, because really, this is what we're talking about. I want to actually show you this in English, how we define semantics. Here is the dictionary definition of semantics. It is a noun. Okay, we have collocations, logical semantics. This is actually important, and lexical semantics. Okay, we're all right. As it says, this is it. The branch of linguistics and logic concerned with meaning. There are a number of branches and sub-branches of semantics, including formal semantics, which studies the logical aspects of meaning. Basically, you're talking about philosophy, such as sense, reference, implication, and logical form. Sometimes really reference could be anything. You could be talking about economical, religious, sociological references, implications. Really, you're almost getting into the area of philosophy. And then lexical semantics. Lexical means words, having to do with words, which studies word meanings and word relations. And indeed, conceptual semantics, which studies the cognitive structure of meaning, how people interpret the meaning. In other words, people's perception. Very simply, the meaning of a word, phrase, sentence, or text, which is exactly what we're going to be looking at. Araceli went back into hiding. Okay. All right. Just so you guys out there in Verbling can see what we're doing and what I'm talking about. Talking about semantics, maybe this seems very technical. It's not. This is quite simple, actually. Let me share something with you. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Here's 10 examples. I have a whole lot more. Looking at number one here. Okay. Looking at this sentence, shoes are required to eat in the restaurant. Now, the way that this sentence is phrased, it's a little ambiguous. Does it mean that I need shoes, I need to wear shoes to be allowed to eat in the restaurant, or does it mean that I am required to eat shoes in the restaurant? Right? Because of the structure of the language with the verb followed by the infinitive, I wanted to learn to speak English. Okay, there's a verb with a infinitive. I wanted to learn. That's pretty easy to figure out. Usually when we have a verb followed by an infinitive or a gerund form, the gerund or the infinitive, in this case infinitive, to eat, acts as a noun. So shoes are required. Are required looks like a passive form. So appears. Also, actually it appears that shoes are required. Shoes should eat in the restaurant. All right. So, okay, there's three interpretations of the same sentence, which is slightly crazy, of course, because no one wants to eat shoes. And shoes, as far as I know, although they do have a tongue, as far as I know, shoes don't actually eat in restaurants. All right. The thing is, in reality, This is an extremely common sign to see outside of American restaurants, uh, especially in areas like near the beach where people run around without shoes on. Uh, this would be extremely common. I have seen this sign at least dozens and dozens and dozens of times. But when you actually analyze and look at the sentence, what does this really mean? Okay, this is ambiguous and possibly may have two or three separate meanings. What is it really asking you to do? And the reality, what I would like you to do as students is try to figure out where and how this would be used by someone. What are they trying to communicate? Again, I already know this because culturally I'm an American and I've seen this sign dozens of times. It's very, very, very common. And I know that the restaurant is trying to tell you that you must wear shoes to eat in the restaurant. For second language learners, sometimes these can appear to be quite funny, sometimes absurd or ridiculous. Anyhow, this is the basic idea here. All right, if we look at it grammatically, it may make no sense at all. Are required appears to be a passive tense. And in a passive tense, the shoes, the action is happening to the subject. Okay, well, all right. So, if, for example, if I said people, really to make this a lot clearer, of course, it should say people are required to wear shoes in order to eat in a restaurant. That, of course, makes it a lot clearer. This is kind of a shortened form. Okay. How on earth could you possibly make sense of this sentence? She made me a mother. How could she make you a mother? How is that possible? What circumstances would make this sentence make any sense at all? Okay. All right, guys. Really can't do this remotely because this is about sharing ideas, sharing concepts. It's not teaching you how to pronounce an R sound. So come on in and join me. This is a matter about discussing, logically discussing and debating. It's impossible to debate myself. There are no wrong or right answers. You really cannot be wrong or right. It's all I'm asking you to actually, the more creative and strange you can be, the more fun the conversation in the class will be. Okay. It all depends on how you contextualize, how you take the meaning from the sentence. Okay. Hello. Hello, Jesus.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning, evening, well, afternoon. Afternoon where I am. Jesus, where are you? Spain?
Yes, I am in Spain.
Good guess, huh?
Yes. And you? Where are you?
I'm an American, but I currently live in the Philippines.
Philippines. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it's afternoon for me.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very hot afternoon, I might add.
Why? Very hot?
Why is it hot? I don't know. I blame the sun, Jesus.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. How's the weather there?
I think like in your like where
Hot.
you are because it's very hot here. So 35 degrees now.
Yeah, that's about exactly what it is here.
Yes,
So, yeah.
I can't sleep. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, I'm hiding in my office with the air conditioner on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hiding. Okay, Jesus,
Yes.
we're gonna have fun here, just playing around, talking about these sentences, seeing if there's any way we can make them make sense. Thinking about context, thinking about sentence structure, thinking about the meaning of the words. How on earth can I make sense of this second sentence here? She made me a mother. What an odd sentence. Uh, think
Yes.
about that for a second. Jesus, I'm going to come right back to you after I say hello to Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hello, teacher Oakley.
How's it going?
It's going well.
All right.
How are you?
I'm I'm good. As long as I lock myself in my room and don't go too far from the air conditioner, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is as well, like warm. Yesterday was like 39 degrees.
Yeah, I actually saw the weather. I was looking at that. Your area of the world is like really hotter than normal lately.
Yeah,
I
but
noticed
it's
that.
okay. You know, I was like at 2 o'clock. I mean, outside. I was walking like, and I didn't feel like you know that I'm sweating or something. I was okay. I don't know why.
Hmm. Okay. Maybe not so humid.
Yeah, it's not humid at all. It's not humid at all here.
That's nice. Here it
Only
is
it's
humid.
yeah, but only in the sun. When you are in the sun, it's kind of uncomfortable because sun is very hot. But if you are in the shade or what
Yeah, that's right. In the
in the
shade.
shade, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. We're here today to argue semantics. What do these sentences really mean, or who would say them, or why would somebody say this? Or is it even possible to make any sense of these sentences? Um, Heidi, hello.
Hello, nice to see
Hello.
you again. What?
Nice to see you. All right, we're looking at these kind of iffy, odd sentences, Heidi.
Hmm.
So we'll talk about all of them. Uh, I'll come back to you in a minute. Jesus, back
Yes.
to you. How on earth could I make sense of this? She made me a mother. Hmm.
Uh, what word can I add? Really?
I don't
No,
know.
no.
Looking at the sentence as it is, what setting, what condition, what circumstance, what situation might
Okay.
somebody say this? How would this ever make sense?
Maybe when you are visit another place or visit another places with your friend and your friend you have to take care. So she or he made me like a mother. So I can
Uh,
understand more or less.
okay, so all right, your idea is that you go somewhere else and you end up watching somebody else's children, like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. So you're like the babysitter, but for all intents and purposes, you're acting as a mother, like a
Yeah,
surrogate mother.
yeah.
That's pretty good, Jesus. Good idea. All right, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to think of how this could make sense. Michael, do you have any ideas? Don't be, if you have no idea, don't worry about it. I mean, some of these are really difficult to conceptualize. They're like
She,
puzzles, really.
yeah, she made me a mother. She made me a mother, like her daughter.
Okay.
Or,
Talking about her dog. She
yeah,
is the
the
dog.
child.
Right. Okay. She made me a mother by being born, or when I gave birth to her, she made me a mother. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Very good. Totally different concept, equally valid, I think. Hang on a second while I say hello, Ken. Hi, Ken.
Yes, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Hey, how's the weather in Japan today? Because it's
Rain. It's
rain.
this summer is
More
yeah,
rain.
more rain, yeah. Like maybe like rainy season. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Because in Spain and the Philippines and Moldova, everywhere else, it's hot. It's really hot.
Yeah, since a lot of rains, it is rainy, so temperature is not so hot.
Oh,
That's a good point. Except rain,
okay.
yeah.
That's great. Okay. We're looking at these. I'll give you a second to catch up while I talk to Heidi. We're trying to see if there's what context these sentences would make any sense, if at all. Maybe we might run into a couple sentences we just can't make head nor tail of. Heidi, do you have any other ideas? She made me a mother.
My opinion is the same as Michael.
Michael? Yeah? Okay. All right, that makes sense to you? Okay. Ken, do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, she make her a mother-like character or something.
What?
Like you know if the mother see her daughter or something, and she feels like a mother.
Okay, so had the feeling, okay, she made me feel like a mother. Oh,
Yeah.
the idea that, okay. Oh, sometimes we can conceive of the word mother. For example, can I get where you're going with this? And that gives me an idea. If I talk about somebody being a mother hen, she's such a mother hen. Have you ever heard that expression?
No, but yeah, I can understand what this means. Yeah.
Right. She acts like a mother. She's stereotypically mother-like. All right. This is a common expression in English to say somebody's a mother hen. Many places where I've worked in my past, there's some woman that works there that is always looking after everyone. If somebody gets sick, she makes them tea. She's always asking how everyone's children and family are. She's everybody's mother, even in a workplace. And I would describe her as a mother hen. Okay, so I understand where you're going. Okay, I have yet another stranger. Leave it to me to come up with a stranger idea. I have another strange idea here. Listen to this. How does this grab you? What if the speaker is talking about someone at an adoption agency who made it easier, who pushed through an adoption? Okay? So she is referring to a worker at an adoption agency that helped her adopt a child. She made me a mother. She did so much work for me. She helped push through the adoption. How about that one? Thinking out of the box.
You're a smart one.
Yeah. Getting creative. This is what we're doing. We're thinking out of the box here. I know you like that, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. Nader, hello. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll give you a minute to catch up. We're basically
Yes, I know the subject.
Okay, very good.
Yes, I've read the title.
All right, we're looking at semantics and ambiguous sentences that could have different meanings.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Michael, I'll come back to you, Nader, in just a second. Let's look at this next one here.
I don't
Yeah.
want him to get into the water until he has learned to swim. I don't want him to get in. It's like father to the father to the mother of a child.
Right. But the logical problem, sometimes there are logical problems. Here. The logical problem is, how can he learn to swim if he never goes in the water?
I don't want him to get into the water until he has learned to swim. Well, I think I've been in the same class and I've answered the same question, and I said that, maybe here. What did I say? So maybe here. I don't want him to get in the water until he learns to swim. I forgot what I said. But somehow I commented that I said something that they are like on the seaside, on the sea, and until he has learned to swim. Yeah, so they are on the sea, at the sea.
Okay, at the sea is correct.
Yeah,
you wouldn't say on the sea. You're on the sea if you're in a boat, for example. Okay, one other English point I need to make: learnt with that T. It's a little strange for me. That's more British because I'm an American. I would more commonly say learned.
I say
clearly this is a past participle.
So but how should I say? Learned?
Either is correct. I'm just pointing out it would be equally correct to say learned as the past participle in this present perfect tense construction here. Equally valid, learned, doesn't matter.
I recalled. So when they are speaking about the water, they are speaking about they are at the sea, and they're speaking at that particular water. About that.
Very good. I see. I get it. I see what you're meaning. That specific water.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. All right. Nader, do you have any other interpretation?
Yes. No. Do you call this catch-22 situation or?
Well, kind of. Oh, well.
Do you use the expression at all?
Catch-22?
Yeah.
I love that expression. It's paradox. You can't have one with the other, but you're not allowed to have one.
Yes.
Right.
Like the Cuban experience.
Yeah, which came from chicken or egg. Sometimes we talk about a chicken and the egg.
Yes.
Situation, which came first. Yeah. It's not exactly a catch-22. What it is this is really arguing semantics. What do the words really mean? How do you interpret the words or phrases or entire sentences?
No, but I'm talking about that sentence.
Yeah.
As you said, how can he learn to swim?
Right. Oh, how I said it, how I interpret it. How can he learn to swim if he never goes in the water? Yeah, that is a catch-22. That's right. What I said, not the sentence itself. What I said, yes, I expressed a catch-22 scenario. That's right. I did. Very good.
Yes.
Yeah. Catch-22. Do you know where that comes from? The phrase catch-22?
Nope.
This is a novel, later a movie, by a man named Joseph Heller, was the author. One of my favorite books. Great book.
Is it full of this?
Well, yeah, in a very strange way. The whole book the whole premise of the book is a catch-22, and then the book is full of catch-22s, and then people say catch-22s. If you enjoy paradox and this kind of idea, you'd really enjoy the book.
Yeah, I love
Like
this
I
idea.
said. Yeah. The whole problem is, the whole premise of the book, they're at the very end of World War II. They're required, the Army's requiring them, their pilots, the Army's, or the Air Force, is requiring them to make bombing runs. They're not allowed to bomb any real targets because it's almost close to the peace deal. So they keep bombing like sheep fields and nothing. So they're wasting money because they can't, if they bomb them, then they won't sign the peace deal. If they don't bomb them, then it's just full of ridiculous paradoxes, which of course the military is full of. They can't leave. They can't leave. They can't quit the Army. They're not allowed to quit or they'll be killed. But if they continue to fight a war that's already over, they could be killed. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, fun book. But okay, back to our sentence here. Do you have any other interpretations of this?
No.
Okay. I like Michael's because into the water, he's really interpreting the to mean a specific body of water, whereas usually the phrase the water means water in general. Ken, do you have any other interpretations here?
Maybe his son or the children or something needs to learn the swimming with the instructor in the swimming pool, and after that they can get to the water.
Okay, so you're
ocean or.
Okay, so you're putting the emphasis on learned to swim, and your conception of learned is that it needs an instructor.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's semantics right there. That means that your conception of the idea of learning involves the idea of a teacher. That's very interesting and illuminating, actually. That's very interesting interpretation. Heidi, do you have anything different or?
The same.
The same. Well, we've had two.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching TV. A man, the first time he tried to surfing.
Yeah.
And then at first the surfers taught him on the beach how to paddle at first, and how to stand up, how to balance the pose or something. Then after that he went into the sea. So before swimming, teacher or someone teach him how to swim.
Okay, but not even in the water. Well, that's a slightly different.
Out of the water.
Yeah, okay, I understand. I get it. Yeah, right. I see. Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking, actually. Right, because exactly. I mean, that's why we go to university, is to learn how to do things that we do on jobs, but we're not actually doing them on the job. So you learn how to do it before you get a job. So that was sort of my line of thinking as well. Jesus, do you have any other brilliant ideas?
I was thinking like you. So
yeah,
I think
right.
That sentences I can interpret it maybe to do some work, and you have to learn the basic things to be able to survive. I don't know. So more or less.
Almost like role play or learning, learning notes.
Yes.
I don't want her to play the piano until she learns how to play the piano.
Yeah.
Well, she's got to learn the keys. She's got to learn how to do scales, right? Yeah, right. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Okay, let's move on. Nader?
Try not to be more nasty than you can avoid.
Yeah.
Yes, what I understand this as don't be too nasty unless you can handle it. So try not to be more nasty than you are able to handle it.
Okay. Right. This is just a twist in logic. Yeah, because you have the negative not and then nasty with the comparative more nastier.
Or try not to be more nasty than you can avoid. You can avoid being nasty. Why are you acting nasty?
Yeah, I think that's the actual contest. And in reality, this is a very excuse me, this is a very kind of twisted sentence. But I know I have heard this sentence before. Try not to be more nasty than you can avoid. It's a sharp remark that someone says to somebody who they feel is being nasty, who's being petty. Yeah, it's a strange idea. It's so twisted. Ken, do you have any
Yes. Yeah.
any other way to think about this?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I agree with Nada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, and also I've also heard try not to be more nasty than you have to. Than you have to be. All right. So be as nasty as you have to be, as if it's required. There's a certain amount of nastiness, but no more. I think is the actual concept here, which is odd.
So in for even among the native speaker, this sentence cannot get the exact meaning. No one meaning for this.
Well, it's interpreted as, you know, to really simplify it, it's interpreted as don't be nasty. That's it. This is a statement you say to somebody to sort of warn them off or advise them to not be so nasty. Don't be so nasty. Try not to be more nasty than you have to be. And actually, we say this, we use this turn of phrase, this sentence structure in English sometimes, not just with nasty. Try not to be more crazy than you have to be, or try not to be more crazy than you can avoid. Whatever. Try not to be more jealous than you can avoid. And it's always, notice it's a negative emotion. Try not to be more angry than you can avoid. Try not to be more angry than you have to be. As if it implies that you have to be a certain amount of angry, nasty, jealous, whatever, which is also a strange idea in and of itself. Okay.
Okay.
It's weird. Okay, that's, I don't know, there's very far we can go with that one, so I'm gonna move on. Time's a ticking. Heidi, let's look at this next one here.
If my grandmother were alive now, she would turn in her grave.
Okay.
She is already in the grave. But if
I would assume so, yeah.
if she is still alive,
So,
she might turn in the grave.
yeah. Well, looking at it, yes, Nader?
I guess it's with the word now. If my grandmother were alive, now she would turn in her grave. Or if my grandmother were alive now, she would turn in her grave.
Very good point. Yeah.
Where you divide the sentence, before now or after now.
Yeah, right.
He is still alive, but still she is dying.
Right. Well, here's the other entirely big problem. Here's the other really big problem with this sentence. The sentence is more or less formed as if it were a conditional sentence. It's an if clause. An if clause and followed by a result clause. But it doesn't make sense.
Make.
Because,
why not make?
Or maybe it does make sense. No, it's like a second conditional. If my grandmother were alive, okay, what's that?
I mean, in what context would you say like that? You would say like that, for example, if someone did something very amazingly or Nader, from you lots of background sound. Mute yourself. And someone did something like very surprisingly, for example, or something happened in a country, and like if you see that, you would be like very surprised. So this is kind of this sentence. Like you are saying to someone, for example, you saw like an accident where died like 100 people, like, and you can say, if my grandma were alive now, like, she'd turn in her grave.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, right. This would be said if somebody was shocked. That's
shocked.
Absolutely true. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Jesus, do you have any other interpretation of this? Of course, the weird thing is here, it's strange because...
he left.
Where'd he go? He got afraid. The strange thing here for me, because I'm an English teacher, I guess, is this is formed like a second conditional. If my grandmother were alive now, but the second condition is the unreal condition for things that are very unlikely to happen. In the if clause. Well, it's very unlikely your grandmother's going to rise from the dead. Okay, I'll buy that. She would turn in her grave. We use would. Okay.
Wouldn't maybe sooner or later.
Yeah. So, well, I guess if she was alive, she could turn in her grave, but of course people don't go to their grave if they're alive. So, yeah, there's definite paradox here. And the other thing is, if my grandfather, you know, it's almost like it should be in the third conditional for me. This is my analytical grammatical brain speaking to you now. If my grandmother had been alive, she would have turned in her grave. Does that make any more sense, or is that equally crazy?
Could you repeat?
I'm trying to put this from the second conditional to the third conditional by using perfect tenses. So let me repeat. If my grandmother had been alive, of course I'd have to eliminate now because it wouldn't make sense in this form. If my grandmother had been alive, she would have turned in her grave. Because the whole thing is hypothetical about the past. Do you think that makes any more sense, or it's equally? It still doesn't make sense because of the paradox of a live person turning in her grave. Yeah.
No, I told you the meaning,
right.
We have in my language the same kind of. Someone could tell, like, if my. Like the president of our country saw that, he would be like surprised. Yeah.
Right.
I mean.
No. Yeah, I know. Oh, sure. Well, that's just a conditional sentence. I mean, we use this expression all the time in English. If my grandmother were alive, she'd kick your butt right now. If my grandmother were alive, she'd be ashamed of you.
Yeah.
This is actually a very common if clause. It's just the result clause is so crazy because we also have a different expression. The founding fathers are turning in their graves, saying that somebody who's already dead is spinning in their grave because of disgust or shock, or it's very negative. It's a very negative comment.
Okay.
It's idiomatic. It is an idiom. He's turning in his grave now. Okay, I don't know if Psy did a Gangnam Style. If he did a cover of Michael Jackson's song, better yet, Elvis Presley. I would say, oh my God, Elvis Presley's turning in his grave. Anyway, okay, I just can't get around that. Now, here is another sort of paradoxical kind of sentence. Do you have any comments about 5 or?
Oh no,
Okay,
I
great.
couldn't just get it.
I saved you. All right, let's move to 6.
Okay, I think she must have enjoyed it horribly. I think, sometimes negative sentence, a negative word tend to be positive, like wicked or
Yeah.
this is sick. That means awesome. So maybe very.
That was nice, Ken. This is sick. Very good. Good intonation too. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Sometimes we use negative adjectives, or especially negative adverbs. That's very true. Can you think of a specific situation where or how would somebody enjoy something horribly?
Probably at a party or concert, people use
Okay,
this
well,
kind
all
of
right.
words. Yeah, or the music, or yeah. No.
Okay.
Horror movie.
No. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just we're talking about, is there different ways to interpret it? Michael, is there any other way you could interpret this?
Like very much. Horribly, you substitute very much.
Sure. Okay. Well, yes, and we do this in English. All right. You guys are looking very straightforward. Yes, this is and that's good because it shows you can think in English. But yes, we do say it was an awfully good movie. Awful, awfully.
Or badly. You have like you are very bad. It's something I've had like with this kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, enjoyed is positive, of course. Yeah, awfully good movie is a very common phrase. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking maybe. Well, Nate Air, do you have any?
Yes, if we have like horribly enough, I would understand it differently. Horribly enough, I think she must have enjoyed it.
Horribly enough. Oh yeah, that could be. Actually, that could
yes,
be
because
that would be a better.
Maybe something disgusting, and she enjoyed it. So
right. See, now that's kind of actually
makes
horribly
me sick.
enough. Yeah. Actually, that was my interpretation of this. Like maybe, well, some people really enjoy going to a fun house or a haunted house, we call it, where they set up, things to scare you, and mirror rooms and rooms that spin around so it's hard to stand up, and things jump out of the closet at you to scare you. Have you ever experienced such a Heidi, have you ever been to a horror house, house of horror?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yes, for example, abandoned hospital.
Okay, well that's like a haunted house.
Abandoned hospital. Young people enjoy getting to that place.
We have one in my city, exactly.
I know. White House, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I know that.
Okay. No, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a commercial enterprise. They charge you admission, and it's like Walt Disney. I believe they have one at Disneyland. And you go in and either you walk around or you sit in a little motorized car on a track, and you see scary things, and scary things jump out at you and whatever. Have you? Yeah.
What do you call? Yes, I know what you're talking about. What do you call Walt Disney? This kind of commercial enterprise? What is this like Walt Disneyland, where you find this House of Horrors and this?
Well, one of them is Pirates of the Caribbean is a ride much like that, because the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, the concept or the theme is that the pirates are ghosts.
Yes, what I mean, what do you call this place where you pay for admission, and they have like House of Horrors and they have that games?
Yeah.
What do you call the place?
House of Horrors.
House of Horrors is inside this place.
Well, no, it's the name of the place often.
No, but because we have that, we have a place where you can go for games and you write cards and everything. And part of this place is the House of Horrors.
Oh, the whole park. Oh.
Yes. What do you call it? Theme park?
Theme park or amusement park.
Yes.
If there's a very obvious theme like Disneyland, then it's a theme park. If it's just a whole bunch of rides and games and hot dogs and whatever, then it's just an amusement park. Yeah. Right. Yes, these places are in an amusement park. That's right. Exactly. I went to one though, which was awesome. It was for adults, not for children. They had warnings: no old people, no pregnant women, no children under 15. It was cool. It was really cool. It was really scary, however, because it wasn't like dolls and projected images of pirates and silly stuff like that. There was real people with real chainsaws. Yay! There was a room and they let you go in there, and there was no guide, there was no track. They just let you walk into this house, and you walk into a room and the walls start closing in, and there's like a door on each on the two sides that aren't closing in, and you try one and it's locked, and you try the other, you run over to the other one, oh my god, and you try it and it's locked. Like, oh my god. What if they forgot us? And the walls keep closing in, and you keep running back and forth, and finally one of the doors opens. Very exciting.
Not for the faint-hearted people.
Not for the faint-hearted. That's correct.
Faint-hearted, yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed it horribly. Exactly. Okay.
What do you call it? It makes the goose.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, which I think is funny because other people say chicken skin. I think Heidi in Japan, instead of goosebumps, do you say chicken skin? Is that right? Or can't? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which is funny. Okay. All right. Let's move on, because the next one I really like, because again, this is one I have definitely heard. It's kind of an icebreaker game that here's one I've definitely heard people say. Michael, can you read this one?
Write down 3 things you don't know about the other person.
Well, how can you do that?
Yeah, how can you do it? Well, you can do actually. Like you suppose that he or she has qualities, and these qualities, and you kind of writing down, but you don't know about the other person. These things.
Can you think of an example?
For example, Oakley is a good tennis player. Oakley is a good swimmer. Oakley is learning Turkish.
Okay. Well,
I wrote down.
one is right, and two are wrong. I'm a horrible tennis player. I'm an awesome swimmer.
Okay. Not Turkish.
And
Not Turkish.
I have like no Turkish at all.
Yeah, I figured it out.
But that's a good job. Okay. So if you wrote them down, okay, that would make perfect sense.
Or I can mention, or I can write,
Yeah.
I don't know whether Oakley is married. I don't know whether he has any children.
Very good. All right. You may interpret these instructions in a different way.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Which makes more sense, maybe.
Maybe, but
yes, I don't know his job. I don't know his.
This is the fun thing about semantics. It can be interpreted in a different way. The fun thing, and sometimes the horror, the terrible thing about semantics. Okay, it's fun to talk about and have fun in the classroom. All right. Oh, I think it means this, and this is a better interpretation. No, I think it means this. This is semantics. Okay, well, you can argue semantics, and you usually get nowhere because it's all about how people perceive things. In real life, you know what really stinks is if you're taking an examination, a test like TOEFL or IELTS, and you have to rely on your semantic interpretation, such as in reading, which may be different than the author, or it may even be different. The author and the TOEFL examiner may have different interpretations, and you may have a third, and that's when semantics can get you in trouble. Or you
maybe you read some instructions about a product and you buy it and you find it totally different than what you saw because you misunderstood the description or the synopsis about that.
Right. Okay. That's a good example. Okay. All right. Excellent example. All right. We've only got a minute left here. Heidi, how about number 9? Let's skip to this one.
I've lost my umbrella here, and it isn't even mine.
Is that possible? How would somebody say that? Why would somebody say that?
Yeah, I think so. Before I went to the restaurant, I suddenly showered. Then the owner rented me umbrella. She said, someone lost this umbrella, so you don't need to return this one. Then I borrowed forever like that. It's not mine, but it's even mine.
Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. Borrowed forever. I like that. My neighbors have borrowed some things from me forever.
Books from the library.
Books from the library. You borrow forever. Ken, have you ever borrowed something forever?
Kind of the umbrella kind of thing. Yeah, that sometimes happens here. And sometimes without permission, so I don't put my umbrella in the public space. I just keep it, or I hide the umbrella actually to prevent someone took my umbrella when the rain falls.
For a while, for about 3 years, I was working in a company here in the Philippines when I first came here. 3,500 employees, all working at one base, one plant. Oh my God! I lost in the rainy season where it rains every single day for 3 months. I lost so many umbrellas. It was ridiculous, really. I personally, I believe that the security guards had an second-hand umbrella shop somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was my conspiracy theory that they were. because I was hardly the only one. Everybody, oh, you get out of work and it's nice out, you forget your umbrella, and then you get back to work and then your umbrella's gone forever. Yeah, I had the feeling there was a secondhand umbrella shop. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for talking to me about ambiguity, catch-22, chickens and eggs, and semantics. Thank you very much. I have to go.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Got another class. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See you